Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. So today, I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a challenge. It's not a big challenge, but it's a little bit of one. I want to go over to Walmart and get something $10, $11 for dinner, no more. For me, that's not too hard to do, but for most people, I've heard that it can be. But I want to go over there and I want to make something that, one, I've never made before. So it'll be something new. Two, it has to be on the shelf. I could use what's in my house so long as it's on the shelf at the store. And I could use minimal pantry staples, that being maybe a fat if I need it. I don't know what I'm gonna make, so maybe I will, maybe I won't. And some spices, salt, pepper, oregano. The ones I stick to, my basics, is because I figure everybody's got onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, those kind of real basic seasonings I would imagine people would have in their house. So I don't want to go over $11, but that's the idea. So let me go to the store and see what I can get, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I ran into a couple of little issues while I was there. I couldn't record because they were really busy today, and I didn't want people to feel weird. So I am going to use some things that I have in my house, but they did have it on the shelf in Walmart. One of the things is some cottage cheese. I'm going to use what I have in the house. It's bigger than what I wanted to get, but I just won't use it all. It's also a different brand. I can't think what else I have to explain. I'll tell you when I get over there, but I came up with a good one. We're going to make a, it's called handheld lasagna. It's not really, but it is. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's go. Let's heat up those pots. Come on. All right, here's everything I got or charged myself for. The things that I had to go purchase or charge myself for are the tortillas. I got the 20 small because they didn't have the bigger ones. So I got the smaller ones. It was a little bit more money, but we made it work. I have the cottage cheese back there. They did have the Great Value brand there, so I charged myself for that. I didn't even buy that cottage cheese. I believe my daughter bought it and left it here. Some tomato sauce. You're going to need a block of mozzarella cheese to make 2 cups. And some ground turkey, and I got mixed vegetables for the side. And I have Parmesan cheese as a topping, not really a necessity. And for Eric, I have his Daya mozzarella shreds. Oh, I forgot something that's not out here, which is not part of this budget because Eric has to have some things separate from us. Rather than using cottage cheese for his, I'm going to use some tofu and a little bit of egg mixed together, and that's what he's going to use in place of the cottage cheese. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start browning up that meat. Before we start on the meat, I want to season the sauce a little bit. Now, as this recipe is written, it calls for pescata or some kind of sauce, some kind of tomato sauce, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to season it up with just a lot of garlic, some onion flakes since I didn't buy an onion. Shakety, shakety, shake. Basil or Italian seasoning, I'm not really sure which one that is. I think it's, okay. And that's the other one. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to let that simmer while we do the meat. I'm going to take a little bit of water in the can. All right, so add some water. And we're just going to let that simmer in the background. You don't need a lot. And when I was talking about Eric earlier in the, talking about the ingredients, Eric is highly allergic to milk. Can't have it. So if you're new here, that's why. All right, let's switch this out and start cooking the meat. All right, so here we go again with my ground turkey. I know I'm not using the beef. I'm on strike. we're going to season this up a little bit. Some Italian seasoning. Season with your heart here. Some basil, one of my favorites. It's probably about a teaspoon, even though I'm shaking the daylights out of it. Some garlic. We like lots of garlic. And some onion flakes. Since I don't have an onion. All right, so we're just gonna cook that until all the liquid has dried out and the hamburger meat is all cooked. That's pretty much all the cooking that we have to do. We have to add something to this, but all right. I'm going to add some pepper and some salt. I'm going to add a little bit of the sauce. It's a 1/4 cup. It's a really big pan. All right. All right. We are going to go over to countertop now. We just need a little bit to get some flavor in the meat. All right, let's move over to the countertop. I have my oven preheating at 350 right now. All right, let's move it on over. Wanted to show you what I was doing with Eric's. I put a little bit of the meat down, and then this is the tofu. I mixed it with a little bit of egg because it's just too chunky otherwise. I made a little bit too much. But if you're dairy free, that might be something you might want to do. Oh, sugar. I forgot to put a little layer of sauce down on top of the meat. It'll be all right. Then we're going to put a little bit of his Dia mozzarella. And we're going to roll it up in this. Might have put a little bit too much in that one. But just going to fold it over, pull it back, and then stick it down in here. All right, now we'll make ours, and I'll show you how to finish everything off. So with the cottage cheese, I actually did have the same size as what was at the store. I thought mine was bigger, but it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a little bit of meat down the bottom. All right. So I truly did want to use the bigger tortilla shells. I'd make less of them, but it wouldn't take me as long. So I put some of the meat down. A spoonful or so of the sauce. Then we're going to add the cottage cheese. You could use ricotta in here, but you really can't tell the difference. So typically I would add the seasonings to like the ricotta with the egg like I did with Eric's when I mixed his up. But since I didn't do that, what I'm going to do... All right, so my battery ran out right in the middle of me talking. I don't know where I was, but just to recap, I got some of the hamburger meat down, some of the sauce, and a little bit of the ricotta. And because I didn't season it like I did Eric's in the bowl, I'm going to add just a little bit of seasoning on there. Some basil and Italian. You don't have to do that if you don't want, but I want a little more flavor in mine. And then just a pinch of cheese down in there, or two. And then we're just going to roll it just like that. We're going to put it seam side down in our pan up here that you can't see. Let's do one more because that one got all kind of messed up. Okay. So some of the meat. I don't want to touch that with it. Hold on a minute. Throw some of that in there. Okay. A spoonful of the sauce. A little bit of the cottage cheese. Some seasoning. Basil. Italian. And a pinch cheese. I'll roll her up. And put it up here, seam side down. I'm going to finish the rest, and I'll be back to show you what that looks like. All right, that's good. I'll show you how much cottage cheese I have left. About half of it. So that was a 24-ounce one. I knew that the smaller one would be okay. But we just got to finish up now. This is Eric's. That's what it looks like. You move that out of the way so I don't get any cheese on it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take what we have left of the sauce. All right. So I went real stingy with it inside of them. So I want to make sure I have enough. It's really just got to coat the top. It's not supposed to be like doused in it. From what I can tell. Okay. Then we're going to take the cheese and add it on top. So I am trying to focus. Might as well put it all on there. Okay. It's just enough to cover it, right? I did two trays with that, one little can of sauce. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of the mozzarella, drizzle it down on top. I'm not going to go heavy. Maybe 2 big handfuls. I think that'll be good. Just got a couple of bald spots I want to fill it. Okay. From that, we're going to add some of this Parmesan cheese. Dollar Tree cheese. It may not be. It may be I refilled it. I don't know. I'm going to put some down on top. Did I get it? Okay. Last but not least, we got to do something for the pretty. We're going to put that parsley down on top. And we're going to put these in the oven until they're done. I think it's about 10 minutes. Uncovered. And meanwhile, I'm just going to heat those vegetables up in the microwave. Salt, pepper, and butter. The vegetables are done. Just salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic and some what we call butter. That's ready. The rest to get ready to come out of the oven now. All right, that's Eric's. Listen, they're supposed to be like crunchy on top. Let's see. Hear that? All right, let me get ours out. And that is done. I put it under the broiler for just a minute to get that nice crispy. But here we go, listen. That's what it's supposed to be like. Let me plate everything up. And there's my plate. I'm going to meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
Dinner time! So I cut a piece off already, so we're just going to pick it up. Hopefully it's not going to fall apart in our hands. Doing good? Mm-hmm. Wait, let me make sure mine's not piping hot inside. No, I think I could do it. You're gonna shove that whole thing in there?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna bite mine. Ready? Let's go. Mmm. Mmm. That's surprisingly good. Not a lot of, not a lot of seasoning, but it had a lot of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
Yeah, that's really good.
I really like it. I don't know that I could eat 2 of these, but I could try.
I really like it.
You're probably gonna eat all 4 of yours?
Yes, sir.
He made me make him 4. You take one more bite. Mmm. The crunchy end. I like it. Let me get everybody else fed, and we'll see what they think about it at the wrap up. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How do we do? Boom. Could not finish, but we definitely tried. Who's next week? Eric, what'd you think about dinner?
I think it was really good. Tasted like lasagna, and it was really
Ish,
filling.
yeah. And what?
It was really filling.
Oh, really filling. Yeah, he didn't finish his. He wanted to finish it. He just couldn't. Aiden.
It was the best thing I have ever had.
Ah, that was a big praise. Tyler.
I loved it. I'm gonna finish the rest of Eric's.
Yep, he's Eric said he could have it. He's gonna finish it. And me, I liked it. I ate 1. It was very, very filling. I don't eat much anyway, but for me, the 1 and some vegetables was more than I can eat. I was extremely full. I did not think that they would be as filling as they are, but they are super, super filling. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment. Either way. See you later. Bye.